All right, what's going on, guys? So it is that time again. We have an entirely new season for Cold War Zombies been revealed. Season 4 has just been shown off by Treyarch, and just the community has been absolutely starving for some fresh Zombies content. So today we are going to deliver. Now, one thing to consider, this reveal was done a little bit differently than in typical Call of Duty and Treyarch fashion. This was actually shown off at the Summer Games Fest, and the circumstances around its reveal were slightly different than they usually are, meaning that we're probably going to also hear some things a little bit down the road too. But from everything that was shown off in today's trailer and during the event, and then all of the other peripheral information that we know as well, there's some pretty big changes to the zombies coming, and we're going to discuss and break down each and every single one of them today. So if you do enjoy the video, then if you'd like to do me a massive favor, drop a thumbs up, and of course, if you are new to the channel, also remember to subscribe while you're at it, as we are on the road to 500,000. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Big things are happening in the world of zombies right now, so let's get into it. So in this trailer reveal of Season 4, Treyarch shows off quite a lot, to be honest. Now, a lot of the MP maps and even like gunfight maps were showed off. Amsterdam is included, and Hijacked is also making a return, but I know what we really want to focus in on, and that is zombies. There's a lot of new updates coming out for Warzone as well, but zombies is where things get pretty dang interesting. Now, my assumptions that the Outbreak Easter egg would be released first before the Berlin map was correct, and we are getting a new Outbreak map along with the second main Easter egg. Now, that isn't to say we aren't getting the Berlin map as well, because that's also happening. The Berlin map is showed off right at the end, which we are under the assumption this map is going to be called Marge or Toten. Could be a little bit off on that, but we'll return to this map in just a moment. First of all, let's talk about Outbreak, because that's what's happening first. So first and foremost, the Outbreak map we are going to be getting is in fact Zoo. So if you watched one of my previous videos talking about speculation of where the next Outbreak maps are going to take place, within the Ural Mountains, there are a few more locations that we haven't seen implemented quite into Outbreak at the moment, but Zoo is going to be the next of them to be added into the map rotation for this season, and we have to be under the assumption that before the Berlin map comes out, we need to play through the second main Easter egg of Outbreak, and the question is, how does Zoo play into that exactly? To understand that, we have to know exactly where we are in the storyline right now. As of Outbreak's Easter egg, we opened up the hatch to allow these dark ether rockets to be launched out into space that were going to hit cities and continents, but got sent into the middle of the Pacific, which again, could be a map later, which we'll talk about. But in-game intel and info has suggested that while we don't know the second outcome for this Outbreak Easter egg, we don't know what's going to happen at the end. Similarly, we didn't know what was going to happen fighting Legion. We are going to be doing some sort of step which involves protecting and escorting scientists, and this is under the assumption that we're going to be protecting the scientists that created the Mega Barrel Wonder Weapons, which is another set of Wonder Weapons that we should see ideally in this next Outbreak map or within this Easter egg. I think it's entirely possible that this zoo was actually abandoned and home to a lot of these scientists that were researching these new dark ether materials and, you know, beings that would come out of it, such as like the Megaton, Mimic, Tempest, all that, harnessing their energy and their powers into usable weapons that the player, us, are going to be able to, you know, utilize. It's also pretty likely that we see another objective added into this mode alongside the zoo map at this point. What that would be, I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll have to wait for Treyarch's full patch notes when that comes around, but the zoo map is going to have its own obvious, you know, Easter egg steps and, you know, its own secrets to find within that entire board. And one of the things I'm very excited for personally for the Outbreak second Easter egg is whatever boss fight they're going to bring, because the first one absolutely stunned me. It is genuinely the best boss fight in Cold War Zombies, and with a few tweaks has the potential to be one of the best boss fights of all time. I could explain for 3 hours why the Outbreak boss fight is so well designed, but I'll spare you the details because I know you guys have busy lives and busy schedules, so I'll go into that at a later date. But let's just say the Outbreak Easter egg, and specifically the boss fight, is what I'm very impressed by. That is absolutely the highlight of the whole thing. So if they're able to even recapture that or top what they did in the first Outbreak Easter egg, then I'm going to be a pretty happy guy. Now, one thing that was not shown off in the trailer, but we do assume is coming during this season, is a new perk, and the leading theory currently is double tap, and I think there's a lot of credence to that. It's going to be either at the very beginning of Season 4, or we could expect maybe the new perk to come mid-Season 4 along with the next, like, big patch, as there typically is 2 really major patches for each season. As double tap is still the prime candidate right now, we don't know how it's going to function, like, behaviorally in-game, whether it's double tap 2.0 or 1.0. I'm sure it's going to be balanced for Cold War systems because they can't just literally copy-paste BO3's double tap into here. I have faith and confidence that, though, we'll make double tap work for this game, but we just don't know exactly when the release of a new perk is, but it will be at some point during the season. Now, before we move on to some of the more major changes as well, you may have noticed if you were paying attention in the trailer that a new operator shows up, and one that people have been asking a lot for. Weaver is going to be playable within the season. Now, we have Samantha Maxis and both Weaver playable in Zombies, which is very strange. Some people are speculating we we may get Ravenov as an operator at some point as well, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen in Season 4, but however, Weaver is looking to be absolutely confirmed for this one. Now, it also looks like at some point this season, we're going to be seeing some more zombie health and potentially weapon rebalances. So, in the latest patch, for those of you who have played it, high rounds got significantly harder because the zombies' health cap went absolutely off the charts. Now, I'm not saying that it was necessarily the worst call. It does make high rounds a lot more of a challenge, which I can completely approve of. I'm actually happy about that, but they did not buff wonder weapons along with it, leaving them kind of meaningless. And the weapon balancing is a little bit better for, I would say, like shorter rounds, 1 to 40, some early ones, but in high rounds it gets a little bit weird and messy and unbalanced, and I think there's still some room for improvement there. But it looks like they're either going to be reverting some of these changes or at least further tweaking them to make them not so oppressive anymore. This could come in the form of, nerfing the zombie health cap or simply buffing the wonder weapons and every other weapon really across the board to make that a little bit more manageable. We'll see how they handle that, but the balancing is almost struck right, but for super high rounds, it's really not there. Also, the next field upgrade called Lightning Links, which we've known about for a little while, could possibly be added at some point, maybe in the middle of the season before or during the Berlin map. I don't believe Lightning Links is going to be added with the release of the new Outbreak Easter egg quest, but I would expect to see this at some point pretty soon. As far as how Lightning Links is going to behave, I would almost imagine it as some kind of like Wonderwaff effect that can chain to other zombies. With that in mind, they still do have to make Lightning Links differentiated enough from the alternate ammo type Deadwire in order for it to be viable and even to make sense in the game. So if you guys have any theories on what Lightning Links is and how it's going to function, I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. Also, we're going to be getting about 6 or 7 brand new weapons within this season as well, and we're going to go into the details about all of those guns in a future video, so stay tuned. That's going to be coming out pretty soon. All of these specifics on, the zombie health cap changes, new guns, and maybe even how Lightning Links function, same thing with double tap, that's going to be covered in a video in a couple of days. So make sure that you are subscribed so you know what's going to be happening with those situations as well. Now, let's take a look at the Berlin map that Treyarch showed off, as I'm sure a lot of you guys want to know exactly what's happening. So this was only shown for a few seconds near the end of the trailer because I'm sure this is going to get its own reveal pretty soon, but as it's not the map that's on launch for Season 4, they wanted to give us something to chew on without leaving us completely hanging. So as we are going to be getting a full trailer for this, let's break down what we do have. When you watch it in real time, it's pretty short, but if you slow it down, there's a few things that are incredibly fascinating. First and foremost, you can see that there is a section of this map that takes place underground where this train section is. At first glance, it looks very similar visually to the Onslaught containment map U-Bahn or the gunfight map, the one you're seeing on screen. However, the difference between these two is that in the Berlin map, that train actually moves, and you can see from the trailer is on fire, whereas the trains do not move in this, although aesthetically they do look very, very much the same. Now, something I noticed in the trailer that I can't really make heads or tails of, and I would love you guys to take a look at this as well, there's this one frame in the trailer where you can see this, and it's either like the reflection of the lights on the train itself, or it's almost like looking into a window, and I feel like I can see a person in the middle of that, although it goes by in such a flash you can't even properly visualize who that would be. If you have any theories on that at all, I would love to know down below in the comment section. It is entirely possible that it's just a reflection and I'm absolutely tripping out here, but it did look pretty suspicious nonetheless. Just nice to see visually what we're going to be getting for this next map. I know a lot of you guys are absolutely starving for the Berlin map, and believe me, so am I. I'm also really excited for the Outbreak second Easter egg as well. I may be one of the bigger fans of Outbreak than most of the community. It's perfectly fine if you prefer the round-based maps. I just can really feel the passion that Treyarch is putting into this mode in particular, and really that passion for zombies map development is something you just really feel radiating from Outbreak. And I love round-based maps as much as the next guy, but I think both can coexist at the same time, and I greatly appreciate both of them. So that's as far as what Treyarch revealed for Season 4 so far. We're going to be getting a huge set of patch notes detailing all of the changes, specifically what's going to be happening, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that video. Will be coming out in a few days. Also, if you haven't got any of the Easter eggs done, such as D-Machine, Firebase Z, or Outbreak, I have guides that are all linked in the description if you want to know how to do those. Anything you still need to get done before Season 4 comes out, be sure to check down below. But anyways, guys, that's it for the video. If you did enjoy, be sure to give it a like rating, subscribe if you're brand new, and also I do stream almost every day over on Twitch. If you don't follow me, link to that's in the description. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, I gotta go, and peace out.